Hey friends, welcome back to another class. We are in our 4th week of Niyamas, so we'll be focusing on swadhyaya or self-study. This class is going to be slightly different because we're either going to be journaling or meditating, depending on what works best for you. Now, I have written down the 5 different yamas and the 5 different niyamas that we've been going over in the last 2 months. And for each of the qualities, I've written kind of a journal prompt or something that you can ponder on for a couple of minutes. So there are 10 different qualities, and I've given each kind of time about 1 minute and 45 seconds. So hopefully that should be enough time to write something down if something appears to mind, but also know that you can stop the video and take more time to think and ponder and to sit in the question. Okay, when you're ready, just begin in a seat, or you can be lying down, or you can be on a bed or anything, just whatever feels good for you. And the first value we have is ahimsa, which is non-violence, which means not harming anything, not only physically but also in our mind. That can be another person, it can be other people, things, the nature, or even ourselves. And the question is, who are you most critical of and why? Who are you most critical of and why? And what you could do is you could close down the eyes and just breathe into this. And rather than trying to think about it too much, just kind of let your intuition guide you. And it's also really important that we are not critical of ourselves with whatever answer that appears, trying to be non-judgmental and compassionate. Just got about 15 seconds left. And the second yama is satya, or truthfulness, being truthful with other people, letting action and thoughts be aligned. The question is, what are you not being honest with yourself or others about? Why might that be? What are you not being honest with yourself or others about? Why might that be? About 20 seconds left. The third yama is asteya, or non-stealing, which means taking or not taking anything that isn't ours. And the question is, what was the last thing that you stole from someone? And that may not necessarily be a material item. It could be an idea. It could be someone's time. Just something that wasn't yours to take necessarily. About 15 seconds left. The fourth yama is brahmacharya, and that roughly translates to abstaining from practices that distract us, that divert our energy from more important practices. And the question is, how are you distracting yourself from something you need to do at the moment? How are you distracting yourself from something you need to do at the moment? Procrastination, something I know oh too well of. These might be habits. Maybe it's what's your fallback when you're wanting to procrastinate? Or are there habits that kind of drain your energy, that kind of pull you away from those things that you know will be beneficial in the long term? Maybe that's drinking alcohol, maybe it's excessive socializing, social media. And the last yama we have is aparigraha, and that is non-greed, not hoarding or holding things onto ourselves, sharing things with others, and living in an abundant way. The question is, what do you hoard and or not share with others? Why might that be? Again, it may not be material items, it might be friends, it might be time again, ideas, something that you're not willing to let go of. So all of these yamas are more kind of outward looking qualities, more external qualities. And when we move into our niyamas, these are more internal qualities. We've got about 15 seconds left here. So we move into our first niyama, which is saucha, or truthfulness. And sorry, not truthfulness, cleanliness. And that just not only means being clean in your physical body and in your space, but it also means clean the mind and the spirit, and inviting in practices that help with that. So the prompt is, what habit can you let go of or bring in to help you feel clean in your body, mind, or spirit? That could be as simple as showering, or going for ocean swims, or taking a cold plunge. Water is quite associated with kind of cleansing, and cold baths or cold showers, not only very cleansing for the body but also for the mind, and just feeling that energy. It also could be as simple as letting go of people who you feel kind of drain your energy or clog you up, or letting go of eating excessive processed foods or alcohol that may not be most beneficial for your body. Got about 10 to 15 more seconds. The second niyama is santosha, or contentment. And that basically means that no matter who we are or what we have, we practice being content with that, not needing things to be in a certain way in order for us to feel happy or in a certain way. And it links quite closely with attachment. The prompt is I'll ask you to finish the sentence. I will feel content when. And just think about what might be holding you back from thinking that you might feel content if this happens. Why do you believe this needs to happen in order for you to feel this way? So, I will be content when. Why do you believe this needs to happen in order for you to feel this way? Ten more seconds. Our third niyama is tapas, or kind of discipline or austerity, and just means going through pain in order for us to find pleasure as a necessary kind of rule of life. The prompt is, when was the last time you persevered in an uncomfortable situation? How did it make you feel? And that might be as simple as turning up to this practice today and still carrying on with this practice. Sometimes sitting down can be the most uncomfortable practice of all. It might be, I don't know, it might be something else depending on who you are and what you may deem uncomfortable in your world. It might be turning up to therapy, or having a difficult conversation, or trying a certain food, or kind of rewriting a narrative in your mind. Got about 15 more seconds here. Our fourth niyama is swadhyaya, and this is self-study, not only studying ourselves in any kind of given moment, how we act and react to things, but we can also study ourselves through other people who may know more than us about spirituality or life, as well as books. The prompt is, who is someone who has helped you learn the most about yourself or in life / in life? This might be someone who's close to you. It also might be someone far away. Maybe that's someone who writes books, or a podcaster, or someone who you practice with a lot or learn about with a lot. And sometimes we need these figures in our life to help guide us when we are less knowledgeable about the path that we can take. And our final niyama is Ishwara Pranidhana, which we still have yet to do within our philosophy series here, but that translates to surrendering to a higher self or a higher power, God, universe, whatever that means to you. And the prompt is, when was the last time you felt like the universe, the high power, or God had your back? That might be something like a blessing in disguise, or a certain calling or vision, or something that just made sense in that moment beyond yourself, like something was trying to push you in the right direction when you didn't know otherwise. I'll give an example of this. As I was working in film and TV before I kind of went full time within yoga and movement. And I made a couple of mistakes on the last job that I did, and I didn't get called back. I was using that role as a way to kind of, I guess, distract myself from not pursuing this full time, because I didn't believe I could do it right then. And that was the best blessing in disguise, not being called back, because I really think it was the universe being like, nope, you're not doing this on your own, so I'm going to force you into that pathway. But maybe there's something like that that you can relate to as well. And we'll just take about 5 more seconds here. Well, I hope you learned something about yourself. These questions actually took a while to come up with. I think asking and phrasing questions is a really important thing to do in terms of how you can get the most depth out of yourself. And so I hope that these resonated with you, or at least some of them did. I would love to know how you found this down below, and I thank you so much for being here with me again. Remember, next week will be the last week of our philosophy series, so I look forward to seeing you then. Thank you very much.